What's going on, guys? I'm at Brent's right now, and we're waiting for him to get home because we are going back to Uncle D's shop. So the place where we were doing the cycle carts, we started it a couple weeks ago, or we went to do it, is his buddy Sam is Procharging his 7.3 liter Godzilla motor. So we're gonna go help him with that. He's also doing some fenders and some other lighting stuff that we kind of filmed before, but we're mainly focusing on the Procharger, so we'll show you all that stuff. But let's get over there. So here's Paul showing up right now. Alright, so Brent's having a rough day at work and he's taking forever, so Paul and I are heading over to the shop, and Brent will probably join us tomorrow. I don't think Paul's going to be here, so it'll be a little switch, but we'll see you over at the shop. Alright, so they got it disassembled on a bunch of stuff, but this all our parts. All parts. Woo! That's the boy. Damn, so we're going to get that in there.
And then when that's done, I pull everything out, and then this pin goes in, and then the crank bolt that I pulled out goes back in. So that's what's got to happen.
Right, well, get to getting on that.
So I got to get that out.
M14. There you go, 21 millimeter.
We have a winner.
Or a rounded bolt.
No, it's out.
Yeah.
Let's go. Alright, so we are here on step 5. Remove harmonic balancer. Yeah, that guy. But you're going to need an impact, probably with the universal joint, to actually be able to get in there and get it off.
This is what we used. You go in, go upside down inside the fan shroud, and you can get it with a short universal and a medium length socket. I'd call that a medium length. It's not a deep well quite, but setting 4, definitely. And it just takes a little bit of going, and then it actually backed the whole thing out. So
beautiful. So it's hard to get enough light and get the camera up in there, but this next step is going to be drilling.
So what you're supposed to do is take the bolt they give you and this guide, run that into the crank pulley and crankshaft and tighten it down. Now this doesn't have to be torqued, just enough so it doesn't move. And then that drill bit, you're going to measure 1 5/8 from the tip per the instructions, and you want to run it in to the crankshaft and pulley. You're essentially splitting the difference so that the small dowel pin can go and pin the pulley to the crankshaft. So this is all the guide. This is all the guide essentially with a hardened steel bushing so that you can guide that bit directly in. The trick is not to go too far. Start drilling, or am I covering it with the bolts?
I think you're at an angle. There you go. You're in it now.
What's the final verdict?
I think we're there.
No, I'd rather be short. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think we're there. That's what we were saying.
We could maybe get a fingernail between the tape, and the bushing. So unless that dowel pin is spot on to length or oversized, and I think it's going to be slightly under, we should be in good shape. But that did the trick. That is a must if you're going to do this without taking the whole front fascia on.
The right hand drill.
Right hand drill. That we would not have been able to get anything else in there.
So on this pin, how close to, like, is it like something like it's when you get it in, you're not getting it out?
Isn't it right?
So we did a sanity check because we weren't sure that we were quite far enough with the drill bit. It's trying to have you within 0.05 inches of the right depth, right? So if you drill to 0.8 inches too deep, then that's too far, because you need exactly 0.75 for the dowel. So what we did is we placed the digital calipers that we had. We used the back end here to go in to the depth that we had, and we measured 1.5 to, sorry, I'll put it right back where it was. We measured 1.526. So what that basically said was we were 1/10 of an inch off, because 1 5/8 in that depth would have been 1.625. So we were real close, we were a 1/10 of an inch off, but in the grand scheme of things, we've got to go and give it a little more buzz just to make sure we get to the right depth. So we're gonna keep this, we're gonna give it another go, and then we're gonna keep checking it as we go so we don't go too far.
All that fuss for that.
And they say size doesn't matter.
That's the whole. Oh yeah, that works.
Oh, look at that.
Spot on.
It does, doesn't it?
It's hard to drill. I don't think it can get much better.
So as you can see, there's the picture, and here's our result. It's an industry term called dead-on balls accurate. It says reinstall the fan blade to the fan clutch after you get that set in there. Well, in order to get the new serpentine belt on, you need that fan off. Or at least it makes it easier, we're assuming. So we're not at this part yet, so we're going to try and hold off on putting the fan back on until we get farther in. I just don't see any reason why that fan needs to go on right now, that it's going to get in the way of anything.
I would agree.
So I'm going to say we're not going to put it on, and we'll do that last. That way we can have everything else hooked up, and then we can torque down that bolt.
I just need somebody to pull it off the alternator for me. Actually, you know what?
You tell me what.
I can get it.
Okay.
I think. There, it's off the, I got it off the fan. Okay.
You want me to go down there and take it off?
And the belt's out.
There you go.
Out with the old. Hang.
So it's
Hang on, Dave. I'll get it.
Right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
You pinch and
Yeah,
pull.
no, that's
And it said have a rag ready.
Yeah, I
because
need to wrap it with a rag too in case it squirts out of there. So can you give me an extra?
You're gonna get a good amount out of there.
Yep.
We want to put our gloves, dude?
If you got them, point away from face. Right?
Yep.
Squeeze and pull.
There it is.
The fuel system should be depressurized, but some fuel may leak when fire. Alright, step 3. Unplug the fuel injector and coil pack connectors.
Yeah, from the picture, so what we're guessing is it said to remove the fuel line bracket across the top of the 2 fuel rails. There's a bracket holding the jumper line to get to the intake. And in the manual it says T25. The fastener is much larger, it's a T45. And the only guess we have is the manual's for 20 to 21, so this has got to be because of 22. They must have changed that fastener in the top. So.
Or they don't proofread.
This is why you don't let the intern write the manual.
That is a chunk of foam there. That is a squeaky fastener.
Well, you know,
That subtle squeak at the end.
We're just gonna try and get. There we go. Fuel injector out. There's one. So basically all you're going to do is transfer this metal clip to the new one. And back in she goes. Make sure that you get some of the assembly lube on this O-ring, and then you'll do motor oil on the other O-ring that goes into the intake. And that's it. That's how you change out the injectors. So we're going to swap these for some nice new Deutschwerk ones, 50 pound an hour. Should feed the beast nicely.
alright, injectors are all in, so let's throw it back in the truck.
I did. I was very,
you made it
I
a
was very
point.
meticulous with that. You do me a favor and grab that one harness and pull it out of the way. Yeah, just wrap it up. Yeah, perfect. I just don't want any obstructions going in. Now.
Alright, I'll hold this here if you want to get the other side.
Yeah, please. Don't really want to screw this up, right?
Alright, I am resting on...
My knee, yep. And if I'm smart, I'm gonna do the other side too because it's teetering a lot.
Oh yeah, little both.
Yep, because I just shifted a little bit off. Back on, did I miss anything?
No. So, got the fuel rail hooked back up, fuel feed line back on.
And all the injectors connected.
So, we're probably gonna call it a night just for now, and we'll see you in the morning.
We might, I don't know.
Alright, so we are swapping out spark plugs. So we are currently just getting the outer fender or inner fender liner out on this side. It's hard to get at them from inside the engine bay.
Yeah, you can see we got all the stuff in here. Basically battery, coolant lines for your evaporator, condenser, and your heat exchanger. So you can't really get in there, and they recommend pulling the inner fender liner basically to get that side of spark plugs. Side's pretty straightforward, pulling the wire, pulling the plug out. I got the first plug out already, so we'll get changing this side while that fender liner's coming out.
Having the right equipment always makes a huge difference.
Yes, it does.
Alright, so right now Brent is installing the oil drain line on the bottom of the Procharger. So it's, what'd you say, 4 or 6? I think it's a 6 amp, maybe 4 amp.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really say.
So this is a self-contained oiled unit. So basically you do your own oil changes on this versus tapping it into the factory engine oil system. So we got the air box out. Basically just that cone is going to go in here, and we're going to keep the little air dam just as a way to help feed air to where the new filter. Gotcha. So this new filter is going to go right here, and that way it'll just help supply cold air a little bit better. But obviously it's not going to be a sealed box like the factory one. So as you can see, those spark plugs are buried deep up in there. So that one plug wire is still on, but obviously it's kind of awkward getting at the other ones. We got the front two done, we're getting the back two done, and then we're ready to move on to the next thing.
Towing it, I'm like,
Box of old?
yeah, that's all, we're done.
These are the 2 dead ones. You got all 4 of them? Right here.
Yeah, no, he's got it.
Let me get my hand in there.
Give me a second.
At the end of it for forever.
Enough. Trick underneath on the back side of the lug that's here that the bolt went into, you can wedge it between the bracket and the lug on the alternator to pry it up and out. So basically what I was doing was sticking this underneath here and prying it apart, and you can see the spacer had it tight. So now it should come off there. Good call, Vin. Got it?
Yep. Right on the back side.
Pinch.
There we go.
Right.
Alrighty, the alternator is free.
Garbage!
No! Still need that.
So we're doing alternator delete, right?
That's just alternative energy, right? We don't want that hybrid bullshit.
Alright, 15 mil right here. So now that you got the alternator out, you got to get the bracket behind it. 3 15mm bolts. And then it has a new bracket to replace it, correct?
So you got that bolt there that he's working on.
One right below it, and then one on the other side towards the cooling fan. Sure would be cool if there's some sweet stainless steel headers on this truck.
We were just talking about getting headers. So the company 5 Star that he's getting the tune from, they said if you buy headers from us, we'll send you the the new tune with the headers for free.
Oh, that's cool. You gotta respect companies when you already spend thousands with them. You know, for a Procharger or a tune or whatnot, they'll send you something so minute.
Yeah, it's like it took them no extra time. They
have it on file.
For it. You've already spent a bunch of money with them, and they're like, all right, this is how we value you as a customer.
Exactly. It's really cool.
That's why when you order everything, you get a free sticker.
Or two. Bracket coming out.
In hand.
All right.
It's worth a pretty penny nowadays.
Yeah, so cast aluminum.
So ADD sent
Do we have new bolts for the bracket?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so we don't need these.
the blow-off valve to the PO box.
In
Showed
Linden?
up. Yeah, and then it said insufficient address information sent back to sender. Yeah, so I emailed ADD and I was like, can you just email it to my house because the post office is stupid.
What's it?
Yeah.
Like we get plenty of things at that PO box.
Exactly, and it's never been an issue.
It was probably a Friday. The postman was feeling lazy.
Fuck this, stay on the truck.
I mean, this thing is beefy.
Yeah.
Solid billet aluminum.
Yeah, that's a serious chunk of aluminum there.
Yeah, buddy.
You didn't want to get it polished?
Like so?
Hold on.
Yeah, it looks lined up.
There you go, right there.
I don't like, man, that's low.
It is fucking
And it's
low.
like right on that coolant line. I'm gonna get the two short ones for here.
Those ones
I
go
want to make sure we need water.
on the inside. Nope. They're countersunk, so it's got to go on the outside.
Yeah, 'cause then your pulley's right here, lining up with everything else.
I'm coming up here. Dave, will you do me a favor?
And then this right here is
Here's
what goes
the
to the
new.
alternator.
Okay. Bracket. One. Alright, you hold that bracket. Vinny's got that. Pivot that way. Yep. One more in. What are we hung up? There we go.
Yeah, it was going into the block.
Alright, second bolt.
It was in that very bottom hole.
Here.
Yep.
So they want it recessed in there, that way it doesn't interact with the pulley probably.
Yes. And the belt.
But it's still a pain in the ass.
And we got to do the other two bottom bolts too.
It's gonna put this at a nice 90, which is whatever. It's not a plug that should be being unplugged and used with a lot. So once you plug it in and it's at that 90, it should be fine.
Yeah.
We got an extension to get the power to the alternator.
That it's meant to do this.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
So there we go. Boots on, installed. We're gonna zip tie around the Tessa tape. Dave, I'll take two, I think.
I know. I'm
Okay.
just giving you one at a time.
Okay.
What's going on? What's happening, dude?
Welcome to the party.
Can you get that in there? I'm talking about that socket. You want me to hold something up there?
He's got the
Right
two big
on
ones.
this side.
He's got one and he's got
I
one.
know, I'm just letting you know.
Damn, it's his place?
Must have been his place.
Radiator line.
He wasn't there, and I'm like,
Alright. Procharger's in. Let's
Dip
load up
stick.
with some oil and run all our intercooler piping.
Sure.
Nice.
Free oil?
oh, okay, good. Well, that's quite true.
The level, because if it's too full, we gotta pull some out. Look at that, right between the levels, perfect. So there's a little min-max basically just above and just below, and we're kind of hanging right around here. So I think we're at a good level here, and we'll screw this back in there and move on to the next step. We don't lose tension. And then I'm assuming down around the alternator.
So,
Alternator,
yep, go
standard
straight down
tensioner.
around the alternator pulley.
Yep.
And then around the factory idler pulley.
Yep, got
And then
that.
underneath
The power steering?
power steering and the crank. And then back around the back side of the factory tensioner. So
Woo! Go, 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 go. Good. Clear.
Letting it go. We good?
Fingers clear. Good. I'm
Everything
in the middle.
looks like it's wrapped correctly.
Under the rib, we're good.
Over the top here.
Good on power steering, on crank, on...
Alternator.
Yep, alternator's good.
Yeah, that one will walk in a little bit on that idler
gonna
pulley.
say.
Tensioner's good.
Tensioner looks good.
I'm good on the bottom side.
How much tension is
that's
good?
pretty fucking tension.
I don't know though. He said, somebody said in the straight, is this dying already?
The battery's already dying.
That I shouldn't be able to roll at 45.
All I'm saying is like that is,
And they don't want you to overdo it.
yeah, I'm gonna say that's good.
You want me to back it off a bit?
Alright, leave it right there. Just get pushed forward to clear.
Yeah, so it comes with a spacer. You space it up and it just pushes it and gives it a little
I
more.
got
Are we
you.
putting it right back on then?
Yes, exactly where it is.
Oh, okay.
You good? Wow, look at those.
Yeah, it's because it was a self-tapping into the mag aluminum.
But these are the only spacers we got. And they fit right over, so.
Spot on. So.
These go behind?
Yep.
You take care of yours first and then we'll...
Here you go, buddy.
It'll be good enough. Oh, look at that. Some service. Even with a smile. It's service with a smile.
My back itches. It's almost like it meant to be.
That looks like it was intended.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't get it. I mean, it might be the fact that this kit's for a 2020. This truck is a 2022. Things change. The instructions say you're supposed to bend the tabs. I tell you what, that aluminum isn't bending for shit.
No,
so maybe the plastic.
because it's L's.
Especially the way it's shaped. There's
Yeah.
no way we would have bent
There's
that.
no bending going on there.
You might have been able to cut, you might have been able to cut a vertical cut and then bend it.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's just easier just to cut it, right? And then it's clear, it's
Well,
not
we got
rubbing.
the luxury of
Exactly.
the tools right here.
Right. The importance of having the right tools.
Precision.
When the OCD is life.
Yeah.
It takes forever, so I'm gonna go get a different one that actually works nice.
Good.
It's coming home with me.
Ready if we're gonna be. Hopefully she, whoa. Yours just pop out on your end?
The little plastic flip just rotated on the.
Oh, yeah, same. Alright, I got a hand underneath the right side.
A little more towards driver. Driver. A little more. Down.
Okay, stuck there.
Alright, I got it.
You got it?
Hands off radiator.
Got a socket in here either. What size socket is that?
14. This one's got
Yeah, it's easy, much easier to come through this giant opening here.
Yeah, it's got to be angled slightly up.
Oh yeah, I see. Right, kind of where your hand went through,
All right,
right?
You're good. Right about there.
Yeah, don't have any left.
Cut yourself?
Yeah, and then I went to like suck the blood, and I just taste all that rubber.
A little bit of cancer doesn't hurt nobody.
need a beer.
Wash.
Oh, you'd think you could get a bigger roll.
Well, I didn't design that. I just... Oh, there is a baffle in there. He wasn't wrong.
Alright, well we ended up getting the hose off. So now we got to, pretty much got the overflow or the reservoir drain. We're going to take some fluid out of the hose so we can let the hose down and not make a mess. Other than that, we're going to relocate the reservoir. And we got to plumb some intercooler piping. And then bolt everything back together. Tune her up.
Alright, got the new location for the power steering from there to there. Got the extension on the hose. Alright, well right now we're in the process of getting a smaller clamp that we can pull this hose closer and not have it rub on the pulley.
That's so much
Dude,
better.
look at that, yeah. And I can still twist it a little bit. It's not all oblong pinched, and we can lock it down tight and it holds.
Yeah, that's way better.
That's what we needed. Yeah, beautiful.
Factory hose clamp X here. Well, again, issue we're running into, this is a 2022, not a 2020. What we found out from the instructions, they changed coolant piping designs. So the clamps that come are smaller inner diameter than the 2-inch factory inner diameter. So we pressed the brass spacer from the factory hose clamp, stuck it in between the clamp. That way it wouldn't bottom out and it would give us a little bit of space, because the previous clamp, I mean, it was pressing and it was squeezing the new or the original factory hose. So a little bit of a space right there, fix that issue. And so if you run into that problem on your 2022, that's how you fix it.
So getting this blow-off valve all set up. Going to the bottom side of the intercooler here. Next one up to this elbow that's fed down underneath. One?
Yes, this one. Oh my.
To that.
And I'm assuming this guy. Yep. So we're going to be doing this, right?
And this guy.
Yep.
And then this will go into the intercooler.
Boot, correct.
Okay. Ish.
So that's this.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then we need a 3.5 inch by 3
This is
inch.
going like
Is
this,
that-
I think. Yep, up, and then the 215 tube, which is in my hand. The 215 tube goes
Yep.
like
And
that.
does that go to this one after?
Yes, and then it goes to the long
No,
90.
that's 90.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
goes
the long 90.
the 215, right? So look, we're right here. That's already on the intercooler.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
034 tube.
Okay.
The 45 elbow goes up. This goes into here like this, kind of like that, and then the long 90 goes up. Yeah, so
And
it's
then
gonna kind of go like
this,
that,
and then this into throttle body.
Okay.
and then the long tube, and then that guy. Yeah.
Let's do this section.
Yeah, I think you're good.
You got the
there.
next tube in clamps or no?
Yep.
And I was like, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this one wants to go right like yay. Right?
So that's the one that goes to the actual
Ooh, no,
throttle body.
don't. Yeah, no, not that. We don't need that yet.
No, we need the long elbow for the throttle body.
The elbow. The elbow?
That's what Dozer said when he left. He's like, hey, you'll get there. He's like, there's a lot less parts than you had this morning.
Yep.
Is it that guy? Shove her in there.
Is that going to here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be like a 45.
That goes into there?
Yep.
That got that on it? Or
No, that one.
Get in there.
You heard that one?
a little bit. So that's going to go there and that's going to go there, right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know color TV.
Because it's supposed to suck it right up into
Yeah,
that guy.
We're gonna use
Can't we
factory
use the
hardware.
factory hardware?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's a what?
Yep. Because this is going to help align us here trying to come through.
That's the glorious thing about silicone.
Flexible.
Which way these needed to go?
Not yet, because you can spin them,
You can spin them and they'll both be facing up.
which is what you want.
No, which way is it supposed to go?
Like a so.
Should be the same size both sides.
I know, but
Fuck. So tight.
I have to do. Yeah, but then I'm gonna be too.
No, keep going. Right there. There you go.
But I'm off the. I'm okay. All right. So the problem we have is that this has to go that way more. This is gonna go on. Right. This all lays in here or whatever. Okay. We can probably click that guy onto the PCV, even though it's got some shit to do, right?
So that is going to get fed.
This one goes to the intake eventually. It'll go to one of the other intake tubes. So that goes like that, right?
Yep, and it vents down. Alright, so we're getting the mass airflow sensor transferred from the old one to the new one. You need to make sure you have it facing the right way because we've made that mistake before.
These need to be tightened because I didn't have the thing.
Andy said he
This needs to go on there to the surge
We'll do
valve.
that after with
And this one is one to go on
the other side.
the surge.
Like, however this conversation needs to go.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, you want another blanket? So you don't put your knee. It's your first time I didn't hear a squeal.
Fucking whore.
Wait a minute.
What?
It's because it's like way undersized.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just suck it down when you got to push it on there.
You're gonna need a hand on
ready?
Yeah,
He's
he's got it
gonna
on
be on the
there. He
back
just
side.
needs the impact.
This is because that frame doesn't really. Let me get underneath there.
Let's just line it up. And
Why does this light get so hot?
It's the battery inside.
You want that up?
no, it's gonna go straight down like that. I think it needs to get flipped, so I think you're right. I think
Yeah, I
it needs to
think
go
it needed to
that
flip.
way.
So we need to take that off. Where are you gonna go that way? Just like that?
I don't know how else.
It's gotta go that way.
Yeah,
It's sitting on it like that. Yeah, that might be it.
okay, maybe it does reach.
Yeah,
It doesn't
and then
seem
you go-
quite like it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, getting most of the intercooler piping and intake all set up, but we still have to do our
Vacuum lines
and everything.
and the surge kit.
Yep.
I'm working on trying to set up the manifold block now.
It's crazy having so many of these hose clamps in here. I mean, you're just literally like razor blades you're dealing with.
Oh yeah. All right. I can't see anything, but that's wedging the blow-off valve in there. All right. So here's the whole layout as far as putting the
Surge system
Surge
into the
system.
vacuum line, yeah. So they gave us a vacuum manifold. This will go off to the stock PCV lines, stock vacuum lines. This will go off to the blow-off valve, and then we're using one of the extra ports for a 15 psi Banks pressure gauge.
So you get all your info.
Alright, once you got all those cut, you're going to reuse your factory connection. Plug it in there. It'll go on the back of the intake.
Now it's going. Alright.
Alright, so you got your one-piece pressure system. So you got all your new brass fittings. You got your factory hose that you cut in your two places marked in the instructions. Your third piece, you're going to cut, reuse the existing connector and clamp. So you're going to slide that over. Falls in the Procharger. Reuse that. Like so. Good. That'll plug in the back. You got your small 1/4" NPT that you routed for your blow-off valve. So now you got to reroute that, trim it for the length of wherever you route it. We're still going to decide where we want to route. And you got one plug right there. And we're gonna zip tie this up somewhere so it's not dangling. He wanted it longer.
Oh, okay. Oh, got it. Yep. Okay. That'll work. More head in. Give it a little.
Plumbed.
Everything is all plumbed up.
Every little thing is gonna be alright.
Alright, so we've got everything situated. We're not putting the front face back on until we know that the truck is gonna run right, because the last thing I want to do is button everything up and then have to take everything apart. But got the fan hooked back up, which that's a pain in the butt. But all it is just 4 nuts, so feed it up from the bottom side, slide it on, 4 nuts, torque it down, and then yeah, there's the good old spoolie boy. And right now we're getting the bank stuff all hooked up and ran through for that, but we're about ready to start tuning.
You've successfully flashed a 5-star custom tune onto your car.
Alright.
So now we get to see if it does what it says it's gonna do. Hold on to your hats, quite literally.
Let's go! Do a little. Yes! Let's go! That's what I'm talking about!
Listen to this bad boy sucking air. Oh yeah. He's sucking air. We're looking.
Fuel rails, did we check those
Check your
too?
fuel rails. Their fuel rails are all good.
They look good? Okay.
That's leaking.
You know what I'm saying? Because those O-rings didn't seem like they were in there real far. Okay.
I checked all of them.
She lives, boy! We gotta put a little more tension on the belt, get rid of that squeak, put the front back together, and we're gonna take it for a ride.
They flash white.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good
We
job.
gotta add some tension. Let's add some.
I was like, did it just die?
Yeah. I don't know if I broke something when I did something. That was a rough. I shouldn't have done it that way.
Like as soon as you took off, I thought I heard a poo. I was like,
did.
whoa.
And I don't know if like an accessory belt popped. Nothing. It's all still there.
But it just won't run.
Light.
Yeah. No. Nothing. It's like dead fuel or dead spark or something.
Fuel lines. Something probably popped off.
That's what I thought, but nothing's popped off. All the PCVs are intact, right? Fucking dead stick here, man. I don't know what the hell. Shit, that's bad. Probably broke my fucking truck right off the bat.
You can't go straight to the worst.
Hold on.
You check all your spark plug connections?
I'm doing that now, but...
Nothing's leaking from underneath.
Shit.
There's something choked off. Alright, so we had a popped intercooler boot to the throttle. Okay, yep. Nice and easy. Okay. Alright, hold on, let me get in.
Here, up front.
Don't worry about it.
You got it?
We just gotta get back there. I don't like here.
Popped the boot off the intercooler, the silicone intake boot. So it wasn't building any boost and it wouldn't run. Definitely got to fix that. That was not on tight enough, right?
No, not at all.
Means
So that was a fun first drive.
Small catastrophic failure.
We blew a head gas. No. So one of the intake boots popped off. It's one of those things that you want to double check, triple check everything. We missed tightening down one of the hose
By
clamps.
double check, he means give it a lot of boost and you'll find your issue.
Exactly. Here's the thing.
which is exactly what I did.
Yeah, foot-
I gave it a lot of...
Foot to the floor, and you'll find whatever problem you didn't fix or
Did
resolve.
it at least look good when it took off?
It looked good. You should have straightened it up. You're still on this awkward. Whoa, you good? You're still on this awkward angle, but it's still good. And that's the thing is, it went, and I heard something pop, and I'm like, that backfire? And I was like, that's the boot blowing. But I was just like,
I heard it too, and I thought, no, it's the rear end hopping around.
yeah.
And I got down there and I went, that wasn't the rear end.
Coolant and power steering fluid looks good.
Yeah, power steering level good. Yeah, all right.
No leakage either.
She's minty.
Hood's closing.
Okay.
Right there, go.
Alright, so that is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the install of this Procharger on Sam's F350 Godzilla 7.3. It's the first time we've ever added forced induction to an engine. So if you liked it and you want to see more about his truck, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section down below. If you want to see us turbo the next vehicle, just stick around, hit that subscribe button to check out my truck. I'm Vinny with Caswell Customs, and we'll see you in the next one.
No. Pretty Caroline.